Hey, everybody, welcome to Review with Me, your review guide of shows, movies, and everything in between. Be sure to click the like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with this review. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another review episode. We are back to reviewing Ready to Love season 10, and we're just going to jam pack it all together, episodes 7 through 9. Okay. I was debating, do I want to get back to it? But I started it. Let me just go ahead and continue it. And I am enjoying this season. I'm just annoyed that they had that 3 month long break or however long it was. Just because Never Ever Mets came on doesn't mean that Ready to Love has to be off air. Like why can't we have both? Why can't we have both? But we're gonna just go through each episode that's been out. It's only been 3 episodes, so 7 through 9, and talk about the main topics. I don't want to get through like every little detail. I'll do my best to make this video not too long. So please bear with me. Because I did not take notes. I did not take notes this time. And I'm just kind of going with the flow. So make sure you have a snack, you are chilling, and let's get into it. Leave your comments leave your comments down below. I want to know what you guys think about this season so far and these past 3 episodes since this season has returned. Okay, so we're back with episode 7. It's called Meet the Exes. Okay, basically, these men were were introduced to the exes of the women. Okay, and I hope you guys could still hear me if I don't like hold the mic like this, but I don't want to keep on holding it. Anyway, a lot of these women did not have ex available, did not have any exes available, or they just opted not to participate in this challenge. So we saw a lot of these women without their exes along in this journey. Okay, bet. So I want to get to like this main part here. So Kiara introduces Jay to Jules. Jules is an ex of Kiara, but their story starts off very suspicious and concerning, to say the least. So, look, I'm not big on knocking someone down for having a huge age difference or age gap if you started at an adult age, right? Like, so for example, if you're dating someone who happens to be 15 years older than you, I hope you're already 30, right? Like, I hope you're already in your late 20s, early 30s at that point, at the starting point. I don't want the starting point of you guys knowing each other, exploring each other, dating to be prior to you being of age. And that's what we see to be the case here between Jules and Kiera. Okay? They have a 9-year age gap. He is 9 years older than her, and we're not clear on exactly when they like the exact age, but he said he noticed her because she was friends with his little sister, and he'll notice her around. And you know how circumstances like that play out, right? Like, you have the older brother kind of picking or um just being a brat towards the younger sister's female friends. And oftentimes the female friend of the sister would have a crush on the sister's older brother. We see that happen, right? This is not something that is new or particular for Kiera. So I don't want to single her out in this circumstance. And we've seen this in movies as well. This is a common thing that does happen. He said something that was interesting, though. He said it wasn't until she was of age was when he saw her and like decided to talk to her and explore whatever it is. And I just find that to be very uncomfortable because, first of all, you're lying. Let's start there. First of all, it's a lie. First of all, who are you talking to? Because I feel like any man saying I waited until you're of age, I don't believe you. Because what are you saying? Well, what are you now you want to wait? Like, I don't know. I don't find that to be actual factual. So let's go there. I'm sure maybe I'm sure. I'm alleging. I don't know them. I've never met them. But I wouldn't say it's hard to believe that maybe he flirted with her a little bit. Maybe not exactly when she was 9, but maybe when she got around 13. And as uncomfortable as it is to say that, it happens, right? And then you also have the reality of Kiera, though her being young at that age, reciprocating that same energy. And I'm not saying this to say that she needs to be blamed, and absolutely she was younger and he as an older person should have known better. But these things happen in which you think the older guy would think, especially if he wasn't like raised right, he'll think, oh, this is a consensual thing. Okay. Anyway, Jules is coming off very creepy, very weird. And Jay picked up on this instantly. And he picks up on the fact that Jules still has a thing for Kiera. Jules says something about, oh, Kiera was this humble servant when he first met her. Because they grew up in the church and they're familiar with, like, he's familiar with her in that context. But as she's gotten older, she's been more just showboaty. She's been more about materialistic things. And maybe that turned him off because he knew her when she didn't have the fake lashes, the fake hair, the fake nails, and all of these things. Jay, on the other hand, he peeped that instantly. He peeped how Jules is talking about Kiera, was a little perturbed by it. So he's saying this in the confessional, and he's also mentioning, man, you still got something. Like, he's saying this also in person in this live moment, letting it be known that, okay, so you still like Kiera? So you still have hope or whatever? Jules made a point to say, I will always have hope or door open for Kiera. So my thing is, Kiera, what relationship did you have with this man? Because it didn't feel like it was an actual relationship, right? It felt like it was this ongoing, off and on, inappropriate relationship that may have taken place when she was younger and he was older. And okay, let's ask him to be one of the exes. But to my memory, we don't know if they were actually, when she was of age, if they were actually in this consensual relationship for a couple of years or so, right? So, because he's talking about her in the light of her still being this humble servant. And Kiera, from how she presented herself at the start of this show, at the start of the season, we know her to be very materialistic and very just prissy and all these things. So I just don't feel like they had a real relationship, is what I'm saying. Okay. So anyway, this was an uncomfortable moment, yada, yada, yada. We get to another ex here. Let's see. I'm just kind of skimming through again, like I said. Okay, Shawnice. Shawnice brings this ex here. Let me go back real quick. Cam always look like he got a crooked face. Like, what? Anyway, Shawnice bring this ex to meet Cisco. And I'm trying to leave it at it. Hold on. Let's just leave it right here. There we go. This is much better. Why did they work out? I forget. It doesn't matter. But the point is, during this moment, Shawnee's brings up, or Cisco brings up, something about Tay. Like, Cisco made it apparent that Tay is his other connection. And it's obvious, it's clear to us as viewers that Cisco is locked in with Tay. Tay is his woman. He's going to pick her. And it's seeming that Tay is going to pick him as well. Tay's name gets brought up here, and Shanice mentions how, oh, Tay's cute, but I didn't think she was saying it in a shady way. Either way, Cisco felt like she was being shady. He said, nah, she's not cute. She's beautiful. She's the baddest. She's the one for me, dog. That's what Cisco said. And it was a brief moment of awkwardness here. It really was. And I felt like if I was Shanice, I would have just excused myself and said, you know what? It's been fun. It's been fun. I had a good time with the painting on my titties with you, but I'm gonna go ahead and excuse myself. We get to Sahara and Cam. Sahara didn't bring her ex because I believe he passed away, right? Like, God damn, Sahara just living a hard life. I mean, it's not her fault that her ex passed away, but the point is, it's just, you gonna bring anybody else? Like, somebody? Anyway, we learn from Sahara that she is someone who is a ride or die, and she's tired of dying for these niggas. Like, she's tired of always riding for you and being just hit like a punching bag. She wants to be this soft, feminine woman. Cam is listening, he's receiving it, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like with Sahara, though she may want to present herself or be treated as a soft woman, she has to present herself as such. And I think that is something that she needs to work on, because she has yet to present herself in any episode as a soft, fragile type of woman. I don't understand why she always have to be so rah, rah, rah. Okay, so let's go ahead, skim me on down. Again, we are only covering the main topics here. Okay, we get to Rose. Rose and her ex, who is speaking so highly of her. Rose and her ex. Her ex is saying she's basically the love of my life. And the only thing I can say bad about her is that she loves me too much. She loved me too much. She was so nurturing. She was so kind. She is. And Rose, look, I don't want to doubt. I don't doubt that she is a nurturing woman. Because damn, at this point, you saying it consistently every episode, I have to believe you, right? Hands up, don't shoot. I believe you. You got it. You are nurturing. All of this is true. You got it. But my God, today, first of all, hold on. My thing is not even connected. Whole time. My bad, you guys. 13 minutes in. I think we got the right mic connected. Oh Lord. The ghetto. Anyway, let's power on through. So Rose is not, she doesn't have any flaws. She is not flawed. She is just a well-rounded woman, and you should pick me, pick me, pick me. The men are not buying it. They feel like Rose is putting on for the put on. We get to Tay and Cisco and Khalil, because Khalil is one of Tay's connections, but I don't think Tay really is that into Khalil as she is to Cisco. Nonetheless, we got to keep it pushing. Tay doesn't bring any of her exes either, because apparently all her exes are in relationships and they want no parts. Like, what? But look, I mean, I get it. I don't really care to befriend exes either, or I don't know. I just feel like for the purpose of this show, we have to either change this whole challenge of meet the ex, Because you see these examples of people of the ladies popping up with no exes. I wonder though, would it be the same way the other way around? Because I feel like with men, it's easy for them. I mean, they're obviously with the women, right? But like, I think men have a better way. Men have a better way of still having access to exes, right? Still having access to women they've dated compared to women having the same access. Does that make sense? And it seems like it shouldn't be hard either way, because obviously if the man is having access, the woman is allowing that. But there's something to it. Y'all know what I mean. There's something to it. So we get to um what was the issue with Tay? What was the issue with Tay in this moment here? Something about, okay, yeah. So she's just asking them, well, y'all can ask me any questions. None of my actors are here, but I'll be as honest and transparent with you guys. Tay is asking the deep question. She asks Cisco, or she just asks the table, do you snore? I don't think Tay is serious. Though snoring, I feel like, is a conversation, right? We could have a conversation, but if Tay really want to harp on the fact that she needs stability in her life, how about have more conversations of that rather than this throwaway conversation of do you snore? Because what are we talking about? So we get to Deanna, and Deanna hard ass. She don't have any exes to bring either. None of these women, except two, decided to actually participate in this challenge. Deanna talking about she doesn't have any exes that she's cool with. So whatever you got to ask, go ahead and ask me. Go ahead and ask me. None of this really stuck to me. So we're going to move right along. Let's see what else. What else? Cisco's laughing super hard here. What's going on? What's going on? Jay talking about, yada, yada, yada. Yada. That's Jay for you. Anyway, we get to the end. Shanice is one of the two ladies, Shanice and Angie, who are at the chopping block, and it ends up with Shanice being eliminated. She exits gracefully. First of all, I want to talk about her top here, because I want women to stop wearing undergarments as their actual outfit. This reminds me of a interview that Wendy Williams had on her show when she had her talk show, when she was well, or well enough. But when she had Tamar Braxton on, and I remember Tamar Braxton came out and she literally wore her undergarments, like literally the snatch undergarment top, the bustier, just literally she came to the set wearing undergarments and then sat down as if she wore a full outfit. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture. Wearing undergarments, Wendy Williams. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. Like, she was literally wearing Spanx. There we go. Let me go ahead and share this screen with y'all. This is what she wore. This is what she wore. And I don't know why she thought this was cute. I just want us to get back to the time when we actually like dressed up, right? Like, I want us Black women to just do better. Because what in the world? What in the world? Maybe you want to show off your snatched figure, cool, but there's another outfit you could wear that's actually a full outfit that does that. Okay? There's a video going around of this woman who picked up her children from school in a robe and a head towel. She should have been arrested. Right on the spot, she should have been arrested. Because, man, what? Anyway, I say all that to say Shanice decided to wear undergarments seemingly at this elimination date. And then she cried with him, or he cried, as she was reassuring him, even though you're eliminating me, I'm still going to pray for you. I'm still going to pray that your mother loves you still. I'm still going to pray that you get out of Section 8 housing. I'm still going to pray that you get a job. How about you pray that he gets off his feet? How about you pray that Cisco applies to jobs? Huh? How about you pray for Cisco to have a vision and follow through? You talking about praying that he has a relationship with his mother. His mother's mad at him too. What are we? Huh? Is everybody okay? All right. That is all. So she gets eliminated. Yada, yada, yada. Boom. Let's get to episode 8. See, we're flying through it, y'all. And not be long-winded. Okay.
The
Take
fellas
notes.
have
Ooh,
decided
let me
you are not.
go ahead and mute that. Okay, so now we are back with another example or another episode. Okay. This one's called My Man, My Man, My Man's BFF. Okay, episode 8. My Man, My Man, My Man's BFF. So we start off with Tay meeting. Is it Tay? Oh no, this is Jay. Jay and Kiana. Oh, Kiara's my bad. Kiara is meeting Jay's friend, and they all look ashy. I mean, I don't know if it's a Philly thing, but these men, what's going on? I don't know what else to say about this scene. I don't even know what else to say about this scene. Let's jump into Tay. Tay meets two of Cisco's friends. Not one of them could give him a guest room to live in. You got two of these friends, and not one of them could give him a guest room to live in. Now, look, I know I started off reviewing this season rooting for Cisco and Tay because I'm like, oh, I feel a connection between them, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Though I do see that, right? And I do think, just like with Naeem, because Naeem, immediately people were putting him off because, oh, he has 5 kids and 3 baby mamas. I feel like regardless, he deserves to receive love, right? Like I don't think we should just chop people or like wash our hands with people just because they look bad on paper, right? Like, damn, so what? So what? That means he can't find love. Anyway, the point is, I changed my mind. That's the point. The point is, with Cisco, I changed my mind. And maybe I wouldn't have changed my mind if we would have received more conversations between Tay and Cisco about what Cisco has planned for himself. He keeps talking about he's a hustler, and when he has someone in his corner, right? When he has a lady, he is more motivated to hustle. He is more motivated to go after his goals and dreams. What? That's not encouraging. That's not. I remember, this is a weird story I'm going to say, but I was 13 years old. Okay, maybe 14, 15. Definitely sophomore year of high school. And I remember I was getting my hair done. We always talk about my hair every episode, huh? Every time I get on this damn YouTube, I'm talking about my hair. Anyway, I remember going to this hair salon that I frequented back when I was younger. Me and my sister will go to the same hair salon and this particular hairstylist. Anyway, so y'all know I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and in this area where I got my hair done, it's called Dorchester. And if you're from Boston, you know the niggas in Dorchester. Okay, you know the type of men, the type of boys, especially at that age in Dorchester. And anyway, so the point is, there was this guy who would just kind of be around the block right in front of this hair salon that I went to. And he'll always try to get at me, always try to holler at me. And I just was totally not interested because you live on the streets. And he doesn't live on the street. I don't want to say that. But just like just hood booger stuff. And I'm just not. I mean, like the aesthetic of a hood guy, like on Power, right? Ghost. But real life, nah, I'm not a ride or die. I'm gonna go inside my house, okay? The point is, he used to say to me exactly what Cisco said to me. He would say, what Cisco said to me, what Cisco said to Tay. He'll say how he needs me in his life because I'm the type of woman who could motivate him to be better. And I feel like Patilly, like even at my young age at that time, I felt like that was such a turnoff because why don't you have that own self-determination by yourself? Right? Like, why do you need me as an external figure in your life to encourage you? I don't think that's attractive at all. Not at all. And I feel like that puts a lot of pressure on the woman to be this helpmate, be this encourager. Nigga, get up. Get up and go to work. Get up and do your homework at that time. Right? Get up and apply to a part-time job. Why am I talking to you about encouragement? What? Encourage me. Anyway, so Cisco is saying the same thing. And I think that's even more unattractive as a 40-year-old man. And I think he has a kid. He has a daughter, right? Cisco has a kid. Tay has no kids. So you mean to tell me you need a woman to I don't know. And maybe it's different from a man's perspective. I don't know. Maybe men do need that. They need a helpmate, right? They talk about it in the Bible, right? Eve was Adam's rib, essentially his helpmate. And I don't want to knock the idea or the beauty in helping your significant other. I think there is purpose there, absolutely, but you should already have some of that encouragement within self. You should already have that perseverance within self. You should not look at me as your external motivation to get through anything, because when I'm busy, what are you gonna do? Slouch around? Ugh. Anyway, but Tay likes it. Tay likes it. And she was guilted during this dinner here because the guy said how Cisco was hurt when you said you need a man with a car. What? You should be hurt that you don't have a car. What are we talking about? And of course, Tay, she's already locked into Cisco and she's like, I apologize. I apologize. Okay, girl. This is it. You got it. All right. So what else? What else happened here in this episode that we could talk about? Just main points, because my God, today it was not that deep. Okay, so Cam has, why isn't it? Okay. Cam is meeting with all three of these ladies because he feels like he has a connection with all three. And at this point, we got to accept this show as the show that it is, right? They're trying to hold on to any thread of a connection, because you can't tell me there's a true connection between any of these women and Cam. Cam isn't about anything. Let me just say that. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't. But I don't think he is someone right now, from what we've seen. I don't really feel like he's ready to love. I think he's ready to mess around. That's what the show should be called sometimes. Ready to mess around. Ready to be messed around with. But I don't really see him connecting on a deep level with any of these women here, with Angie, with Rose, and definitely not with Sahara. They play, like they play and flirt, he and Sahara. But what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Y'all buy it? Because I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And Rose over there doing her best to appear like I'm every woman. And I'm not trying to knock another natural hair woman, but Rose, please, can you put some concealer on? No, I'm totally being a joke right now because y'all know I'm here. I'm out here with my moo. Okay, so the joke is present, and I'm allowed to make a joke about another natural woman. Anyway, let's see what else. All right, so yeah, the girls don't really feel like they don't feel like Cam is really about anything, and he needs to make a decision, which of course that's the name of the show. But okay. And I need women to leave these wigs alone. Anyway, this is Naeem's friend. Naeem brings Deanna to this mix. What was the context here? Y'all know damn well there was no connection between. What are we talking about? I don't know why Tay looking at who is she looking at here? I don't know. There was a scene. Is it this episode or episode 9? There's an episode in which, okay, yeah, it was, I forget which episode it was, but there's an episode, we'll get to it. Anyway, we get to Hussein. He's introducing his friends, all three of this nigga. Now you know this man here who talking about he's a dominant poly king. And look, I'm not here to shame or king shame or whatever, lifestyle shame. Poly it up. There's not enough men out here. I understand. Understand why men would have multiple women and those women will be okay with it. It is what it is. I just wish there was more societal acceptance around it. But maybe someday. Anyway, we learned that he and Angie have a little bit of a history, not on some poly tip, but on some Angie is a bartender. Now, here's the thing with bartenders. Can we talk? Here's the thing with bartenders. They're gonna be in a mix, okay? Because there's money in mixers. There's money in parties, swinker lifestyles, right? And you have you talk about this man's a poly guy. And not only is he just having a poly lifestyle, which is fine, but he also exclaims how he is a dominant. He plays as a dominant. So he holds dominant parties, right? So I guess he's low key a stripper or some type of sex worker. The point is, Angie has been in the mix of that because she is a bartender and she bartended at some of his functions. All in all, to say, Hussein and Angie, they just have a little lustful thing going on, but we still don't see any lustful interactions. Rose is one of the connections that Hussein has. They seem to have a deeper connection, but that's primarily because both of them came from the foster care system, which is pretty traumatic. So I wonder, as calm and regulated as Hussein presents, I do wonder if he is ready to love. And I mean, look, not everyone from the foster care system isn't ready to love. I don't want to do that. But I do want to say Hussein has shown throughout this season that he is not a great communicator as far as texting and being consistent in his communication with women. He'll say, "Oh, I didn't text you all day because I knew I was going to see you later on, so I'm going to hold off on texting you." Or, "Oh, I'll see you the following day, so I'm not going to text you." I don't like that. I want to hear from my nigga every day. Every day, every hour. It's like never, not every hour, but definitely every day. Definitely every day. And if the text messages are few and little in between, um sometimes I'll be worrisome just because it's like, okay, hello. But anyway, the point is he doesn't have a routine with any of these ladies communication wise. He's not saying any good mornings, good night, how you doing, how's your day. At the very least, do that. At the very least, do that. I don't have to. I feel like for me, I don't think it's necessary to be all on the phone every second, every moment, because what? Like, we have to go to work. We work respective jobs, we have respective careers, and we have respective hobbies or other things that we do outside of work. So it's totally fine if we're not talking every hour by the hour within a day. But I do expect some form of communication every day. Absolutely. Just like you could brush your teeth, you could text me. Just like you could brush your teeth, you could text me. All right. Anyway, we skimming on down. Skimming on down the road. Why can't it just play? Okay, the ghetto. All right, we get to the end here. Angie is yet again. Is she on the chopping block? Anyway, we find out that Naeem is finally. Yeah, she's not on the chopping block. But anyway, she's the one who chops. She chops his name. What's his name? Naeem. Naeem out. Bye, Naeem. It's fine. It's fine. I think he is ready to love, though. I really do. I just don't think any of these women are ready to love him with all that he has going on. I do wonder how old are his children. I don't know if he mentioned it in the previous episode, but I don't think he should be faulted for having multiple children and multiple baby mamas. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. Would I date someone like that? Maybe not. But I think with Naeem, what he has going well for himself is he's a regulated guy. Like, he's very calm and collected. He could get along with everybody. I think I don't know. I understand how he has so many kids. I really do. And I understand how he has so many baby mothers. Okay. But I say all that to say I feel like we have to stop washing our hands with people just because they have multiple kids. Okay, they need love too. They need love too. Okay, so we get to our most recent episode of Ready to Love, and it is titled Tommy's Getaway. Tommy's Getaway. So every one of them are on this retreat that Tommy set up. They go to this house and it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice house. I don't know if they're still in the Philly area, but nonetheless, they are at this home together. Prior to them arriving, we see them on this charter bus, and Sahara and Cam are kind of booed up. She's giving him like this, kind of okay, that type of cute flirtatious vibe. Cam's feeding into it. Deanna's in the bag acting like she don't know anybody. Deanna is not here for anybody. We are here for the ride and the show. Okay. Apparently, Kiara had a conversation with Jay because we know that they are each other's top connections. Even though Jay does have a connection with Sahara, you clearly see that he has most of his top connection is with Kiara and vice versa. Kiara had a conversation with him, letting him know, look, when we go on this vacation, right, on this retreat, you better not embarrass me. You better not make me look foolish. And that's it. That's all. Okay. He may have agreed, but she did let it be known what it is she expects from him. So we get to them actually arriving. They're looking around. They're finding their homes or their rooms. Cisco's super happy. He's like, finally, I got a whole house. Finally, I get a whole house not to myself. But anyway, everyone's booed up. Tay and Cisco ends up rooming together. She invites him to room with her together. And let's get into this scene, actually. Let's get into this scene. Let's jump right into it. So we see in this scene how Sahara, she has her legs on top of Jay. You know Jay is hard right now. I'm making the allegation that he is probably HARD at this point. His face looking like, well, I feel good. I don't know. That's my assumption. But anyway, so she's flirting. She's flirting like Sahara does because, okay, that's her energy. That's her energy, and it is what it is. Kiara's upset. Kiara is upset. She walks by. She gives him the eye. She rolls her eyes. I think she actually made eye contact with him. She locked eyes with him. So he is aware of her seeing him and them together. And it's out in the open. So everyone could see it. His justification is, well, what is the issue? I'm not doing it behind your back. You didn't like catch me, right? We're not in a corner in a dark room. We're publicly just sitting next to each other or on each other, really. Her leg is on him. He's rubbing her neck. All of this is apparent. So that is his justification. Like, I don't see what the issue is. Kiara is upset. Kiara's upset, and I feel like she does have a right to be upset, but I think her way of showing her upsetness, but I think her way of showing that she's upset was problematic to say the least. Kiara and Jay, I can make the assumption that they probably already had sex. They probably already smashed. They probably already did the did the um did the waltz. They did the waltz with each other because her reaction was over the top. And let's get to that scene because I was like, okay, girl, I don't think it's that deep, but okay. She's on the bed talking about, I don't want to talk to you. Don't talk to me. I'm trying to find that. Let me see if I can find that clip. Maybe it's a later on scene. Child, where is that scene? She's upset. She is visibly upset. She doesn't want to talk to him. She's pissed. She feels like he disrespected her. And I don't think she's wrong in the sense of him. Yeah, he may have disrespected her. He didn't consider what she said from the beginning. She made her expectation, her boundaries known. But I don't think her way of reacting was appropriate. You have to communicate effectively and say, I said to you verbatim, don't embarrass me, don't make me look foolish. And yet you still did. Okay. But instead, Kiara's form of communication is, oh, I'm not even going to look at you while I'm yelling at you. You're talking, this is her talking to him. I don't want to turn around too much because y'all can't hear me. But she literally has her back, the back of her head facing him as she's yelling at him. Like, how does that even make sense? Anyway, we get to this scene with Rose. Rose really appearing as this motherly figure to Cam. I got you 3 shirts. Girl, why are you getting this man shirts and he hasn't picked you? Why are you dressing this man up and he hasn't picked you? It doesn't make any sense to me. And maybe she's trying to do that for him to pick her, right? Like maybe that's her motive, but I just didn't think this came across as sensible, in my opinion. It didn't come across as such. Of course, Cam is appreciative, and he probably he's getting drunk off of the love and the attention that he's getting from his 3 connections. We got into a conversation with Angie, and we learned that Angie has had broken windows in a man's car after he disrespected her, right? Probably after he cheated on her, right? You know, the typical typical storyline. Oh, cheat on me, I'm gonna break your car windows. Can we get older? Can we get older? Cam is immediately turned off. Hussein is turned off. All these men are just like, oh, that's disturbing. Like, that's childish. That's juvenile. Why would you, like, what? And Angie's defense is, you asked me if I did, and I said, yes, I did. That's true, Angie. But not only did you say you did do that, you also made it apparent that you'll do it again, right? You also made it apparent that it was justifiable. And she was defensive in her response, like, well, you think it's okay to disrespect me, and then I just take it? Like, that's not appropriate. That's not an appropriate way to solve something, right?
especially since typically, what's the typical way of things, right? Oh, I break a car window, we have makeup sex. Are we really broken up after you break my car window? We're not. We're not. So you do all of that. I call AAA. I get my car window fixed, and then guess where I'm back at? Your bed, between your legs. Okay, so you doing all that trying to affirm your self-respect, but you still got me between your legs. So they go nowhere with this conversation, and they're kind of at an obstacle, at a fork in the road. Cam is turned off. He's pouting, and you can see his energy is depleted here. And I feel like it's because he's really not connected with any of the women, with any of his three connections. And to have the fact that, what's her name, Angie, made it apparent that she's kind of cuckoo, he's even more on some, I'm even more turned off. We see with Cisco throughout this episode, maybe he's drained, maybe he's not much of a social butterfly. And I get that to an extent. I really do, because I really appreciate my own energy. I appreciate my own space. I appreciate my alone time. And you have just the anxiety of being in this big house with multiple people who are still new in my life, and I'm supposed to form this connection, and I have this main connection as me and her, but I have to interact, and then I'm on this show, and I think all of that gets into his head. And we've learned from Cisco that he is, I don't want to say mentally like unstable, but he does have a lot of things that he's navigating both mentally and emotionally. Right? Like he's still trying to figure things out. He's reestablishing himself in this thing called life. And I just think he needs a moment for himself to reconvene, to come together within self. So him being at this house, I don't think he's having a good time. But you have Tay coming in the room talking about, come on, we gotta turn up, let's drink, turn up. You know who Tay reminds me of just physically? Angela Simmons. And literally, it just popped in my head as I was watching this episode. She appears like she favors Angela Simmons. Just go ahead and look and just do it side by side. But she absolutely favors her. Anyway, Jay's trying to get some advice from Khalil, trying to figure out how he should go about this whole Kiara situation. Khalil's giving him a second perspective, and he's being receptive towards it. Khalil and Deanna trying to talk, trying to establish something, but we know damn well these two are probably going to leave. Not even probably, they will. It's gonna wrap up with them not being on the season anymore, because clearly Deanna is not here for any of these men. She's talking about how she doesn't really need a man. Maybe she needs a man to help with the paint chips around the house, take out the trash, be a handyman. And true, all of that is necessary from a man. I appreciate that from a man. Absolutely. But with Deanna, we don't see an emotional pull from her. We don't see her actually want a man. We don't see her say like, I really like this about you, or I really need a man to share my life with. Right? I need someone who could rub my feet after a long day's work. We don't see that side from her. She is a masculine type of woman. And I'm saying this to say there's softness inside of her is just under a lot of masculinity. It's under a lot of firefighter stuff. Okay? It's under a lot of aggression. It is. Black women can't be a shut up. Shut up. Yes, I can. Just like every woman and every person. Okay, so we get to the end. The men had the power, but it ends with a to be continued. And that is where we end off with this review. We did it, y'all. Under an hour. I am proud of myself. I'm proud of you guys for sticking with me. If you enjoyed this review of episode 7 through 9 of Ready to Love season 10, please leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Be sure to be subscribed and like the video. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.